we are going to see the coloring of graphs and chromatic numbers and more concepts, right? So first is coloring of graphs. Coloring of a graph means coloring the vertices or edges of the graph. And how we have to color the vertices and edges? Like this. Coloring all the vertices of a graph is the property that no two adjacent vertices have same color, right? We have to color the vertices or edges of the graph in this way that there is no two adjacent vertices vertices have the same color, right? For example, here, and try to color with minimum color, right? Here I have taken these examples, right? First is triangle. Triangle means 3 vertices and 3 edges, right? Now we have to color this graph. That means we have to color the vertices or the edges. Now we color the all vertices, and the condition for the coloring of the vertices is no two adjacent vertices have same color. That means adjacent vertices means here, if u and v are adjacent, if and only if there is an edge between these two vertices, right? Here, suppose I choose this vertex A, right? If we color this vertex by red color, here, right? Here, if we give the red color for the vertex A. Now, the adjacent vertices of A are B and C, because there is an edge between A and C, and also there is an edge between B and A, right? Therefore, we cannot give red color to B and C, because B and C are adjacent vertices of A. Therefore, we have to give a different color here, right? Therefore, we give here blue color, right? So here we cannot give the blue color and also red color, because B is adjacent vertex of A and also B is adjacent vertex of C, right? Therefore, we give here yellow color, right? This is yellow color here for B. So here in this graph A, we have colored 3 colors: red color, blue and yellow color for 3 different colors, right? Here let us take second example, square, right? This graph B, there are 4 vertices, right? Now if we give the here for A red color here, right, then we cannot give red color for B and D, because B and D are adjacent vertices of A. But here C is not adjacent vertex of A, therefore we can give red color here for C, red, right? Now here for B we give the blue color, right? So here we can also give here blue color, because D is not adjacent to B, right? And D is adjacent to A and also adjacent to C, but these both colors are different, right? Therefore we can give here blue color for vertex D, right? So here we have used 2 colors for the graph B, red color and blue color, right? So we can also give 4 different colors, right? Here red, blue, yellow and other color orange, right? But we have to choose the minimum colors. Therefore, and condition, we have the condition 2 adjacent vertices does not have same color. Therefore, here we require only 2 colors, red and blue. You can also give another colors here yellow colors or here green colors, right? But the condition is the 2 adjacent vertices should not have the same color. Here we give for the vertex A red color, then here for B blue color, C red color, D and blue color. Therefore we require for this graph only 2 colors, and in this graph we require 3 colors for 3 different vertices, right? And third example is here, suppose A, B, C, D, E, right? If we choose the color here green for the vertex A. Now we cannot choose green for E and B, right? Because E and B are adjacent vertices of A. Therefore we cannot give here a green color. But look at here D, right? D is not adjacent to A, therefore we can give green color here for D. green. Now we choose here different color, suppose red, right? Therefore we cannot give the red color for C, but we can give red color for E, right? Because E is not adjacent to B, because there is no edge between E and B. Therefore here we choose red for E. Now here we choose blue for C, right? So here we require only three colors, green, red and blue, right? We have to choose minimum colors, right? Here we can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors, right? But we have to choose the minimum colors, right? So let us take next example here, D, right? If we choose suppose A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. Suppose we give here red color, right? So we cannot give here red color, also we cannot give here red color, but we can give here red color for C, also for E and also for G, right? Here we choose for B green color, therefore we can choose here also for D green, also for F, also for H, right? Because H and B are not adjacent, therefore we can give same color for the vertices H and B, similar for D and F, right? So if we observe here for the graph D, we require only two colors, green and red, right? So here next graph is E, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4. If we give for 2 yellow color, we cannot give here 3 for yellow color for 3 vertex 3, also we cannot give the yellow color for the vertex 1, but here the vertex 4, the 4 is also adjacent to the vertex 2, therefore we cannot also give the color yellow, therefore we require 3 different colors. Here we give red, we cannot give here red, right? So we can give here red, because 1 and 3 are not adjacent, therefore we can give red color for this, and here we choose blue for the vertex 4, therefore in this graph we require 1, 2, 3 colors, right? And the next definition is chromatic number is depending upon this concept coloring of a graph. So the chromatic number of a graph G, written as chi of G, is the minimum number of colors needed to label the vertices so that adjacent vertices receive different colors, right? Here we have already mentioned here, they try to color with minimum colors. That means here in the graph 1A, there are 3 vertices, we can give 3 different colors, right? And here therefore here the minimum color required are 3, right? Because there are 3 vertices and they are adjacent to each other. That means A is adjacent to C, A is adjacent to B, B is adjacent to C. Therefore we require 3 different colors, because we have the condition no two adjacent vertices have same color. Therefore chromatic number of this graph is 3. That means we require 3 minimum colors to label the vertices, right? Therefore the chromatic number of graph A is 3. Now in this example, here we can give the 4 different colors, right? But we require the minimum colors for the label to the vertices. Therefore we here we have 3 colors, 2 colors, red and blue, right? Here we can give red for these 2 vertices and we can give blue color for these 2 vertices. You can choose any color, right? But the condition is no two adjacent vertices have same color. Therefore we require for this graph only 2 colors. Therefore the chromatic number of the graph B is 2, right? Similarly for the graph C, here we require 3 colors. Therefore here the chromatic number of C is 3. Similar for this graph, chromatic number of this graph is 2 and chromatic number of this graph is 3, right? So I think you understand what is chromatic number, right? So here a graph G is K-per-tight if vertex set of G can be expressed as the union of K independent set. We have already seen the definition of bipartite. Bipartite means union of two independence of set, disjoint independence of set, right? So here the graph is k-partite, right? That means there are k independent set, union of k independent set here, right? Three-partite means there are three union of three independent set. Bipartite means here we have already seen the examples of bipartite, right? This is a bipartite graph. Here two disjoint set x and y. There are two sets, therefore we give the name bipartite, right? Here the k-partite means there are union of k independent set. Now vertices given the same color must form an independent set. So the chromatic number is of the graph G is the minimum number of independent sets needed to partition of vertex set of G. And a graph is k-partite if and only if its chromatic number is at most k, right? So here we can observe from these examples of the graph, the chromatic number of this graph is 2, right? Here we can, if we observe here the red color, there are two colors required, right? Red and blue. If we give here red color A and also red color C, right? And blue color for D and B, right? Here blue. And A is adjacent to B, right? And also C is A is adjacent to D, C is adjacent to D, C is adjacent to B. Here, if we observe, this graph is bipartite, right? Because if we have the same color, we can choose the one independent set is the same color, right? Here we have given that vertices given the same color must form an independent set, right? Therefore here we require two different colors. Therefore we have two independent set here, two independent set. One set is of red color and second set is of blue color. Therefore we give the bipartite graph. Therefore we give a graph G is k-partite if vertex set of G can express as the union of k independent sets. And the next concept is depend on the chromatic number is vertices given the same color must form an independent set. So chromatic number is the minimum number of independent sets needed to partition vertex set of G. Here these two colors blue and red are partitions the vertex set of G. They give two partitions, right? First partition is the vertex A and C, and second partition is D and B. Therefore here a graph is k-partite if and only if its chromatic number is at most k. Now second concept is the graph can be drawn in the plane without crossing edge. Such graphs are planar graph, right? So concept of the definition of the planar graph means any graph if we can draw this graph without crossing the edges. That means here we have this graph. Here A, B, C, D, the graph G. Is this graph is planar? Now look at C. Look at here, the graph can be drawn in the plane without crossing edge. Here two edges are crossing, right? The edge AC and the edge BD. They are crossing to each other. Can we draw this graph without crossing edge? Let us try. A, B, C, D. We have to draw this edge D and B. Here we can draw this edge, right? B and D. Now this edge AC. We can also draw this edge by like this, right? So we can draw this graph without crossing edges. So this graph is planar graph, right? Therefore the definition of the planar graph is the graph can be drawn in the plane without crossing edges. Such graphs are planar graph. So our definition is very simple. Here we have some notes, right? So the first note is chromatic number of bipartite graph is at most 2. We have already seen this concept. Chromatic number of the bipartite graph is 2. Now the chromatic number of the complete graph Kn with n vertices is n, right? For example here, suppose we take the complete graph K4. K4 means complete graph with 4 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a K4 graph, right? So now we color this graph. First we choose the red color for the vertex 1. Can we give the red colors for this vertex 2, 3, 4? No, because this 1 and 2 both are adjacent, 1 and 3 both are adjacent, 1 and 4 both are adjacent. And we for condition for the chromatic number is no two adjacent vertices have same color. Therefore, we cannot choose red color for these 3 vertices. Therefore, we require different 3 colors, right? Here blue, green, and yellow. Right? So, if we give here blue color, we cannot give blue color for these 3 vertices, because in the we know that in the complete graph all vertices are adjacent to each other. Therefore, we cannot choose same color for any vertex of the complete graph. Therefore, we require, if we have n vertices, then we require the 4 different color, n different colors. Here we have the graph K4, that means 4 vertices. Therefore, we require the 4 colors. Therefore, chromatic number of the complete graph with n vertices have n vertices, then chromatic number of this complete graph is n, right? So, chromatic number of the empty graph or null graph is 1, because null graph means S set is empty. This is also a null graph. Therefore, we can give red color, red, red, red. We can choose only one color for all vertices, because no 2 vertices are adjacent to each other. Therefore, the chromatic number of the null graph or empty graph is 1. Now, suppose that if X is a set of size n, how many graphs can you form out of X? We have the a set X with size n, that means there are n vertices, right? X is a set of size n, that means there are n vertices. The question is, how many graphs can we form out of X, right? So, for example here, if we take example, suppose that X is a set of 4 vertices A, B, C and D, right? Now, suppose that n is equals to 4. Now, how we can draw the subgraphs of these subgraphs with these 4 vertices, right? Here we can draw first graph is like this, only vertices. This is also graph. Second graph is this is also a graph with 2 vertices, right? Suppose this is also graph with 3 vertices. That means we have to find all the subsets of the X, right? Because we have to draw the graphs here for the vertex set n, right? So we have to find the all subsets of the set X, right? So, and we know that the formula all subsets of the set X means power set of X. We know that the power coordinate of power set of X is 2 raised to coordinate of X is equals to 2 raised to 16, right? Therefore, we can draw the graphs, we can draw the 16 graphs with 4 vertices, right? Here the subsets of the X are 2 raised to 4, therefore we can draw the 16 graphs with 4 vertices. Therefore, the formula for this question is, if X is a set of size n, then how many graphs can we form out of X? The 2 raised to n, right? Now the second is, suppose that X is a set of n vertices, that means X is equals to V1, V2 up to Vn, and A is a set of all graphs on given n vertices. Then quantity of X is what, right? So here we have given that the set is X is a set of vertices and number of vertices are n, right, and A is a set of all graphs with n vertices. That means we have required 4 vertices in all graphs, right. The question is how many such graphs we can draw. Here if we choose n is equals to 2, n is equals to 2, right. Therefore, if n is equals to 2, that means 2 vertices. How we can draw the graph with 2 vertices? Here, this graph, empty graph. That means there are only 2 vertices, no edge between these 2 vertices, and second one is this, 2 vertices and one edge, right. We can draw only this graph with 2 vertices. Now, second example is for n is equals to 3. How many graphs we can draw with 3 vertices? Here, first is empty graph, second is 3 vertices and one edge, like this. These 2 vertices are adjacent. Third one is these 2 vertices are adjacent. Fourth one is these 2 vertices are adjacent, right. Fifth one is these 3 vertices are adjacent, and sixth one is these 2 vertices are adjacent. Seventh one is all 3 vertices are adjacent, and 8th one is these 3 vertices are adjacent. We can draw 8 different graphs with 3 vertices, right. Therefore, coordinate of A is equals to 8. Now, there is a formula for this concept. We can, if X is a set of n vertices, then we can draw the 2 raised to n choose 2 graphs with n vertices, right. Here we check for n is equals to 2. Here n is equals to 2, then 2 choose 2 is equals to 2 factorial upon 2 factorial into 2 minus 2 factorial is equals to 1 upon 1 factorial. That means, because here 2 minus 2 is 0, and 0 into 2 factorial is also 0, and 0 factorial means 1, right. Here 0 factorial means 1. Therefore, 2 choose 2 is equals to 1. Then we put the value of 2 here, and 2 raised to 1 is 2. Therefore, we can draw only 2 graphs. We choose for n is equals to 3. 3 choose 2 is equals to 3 factorial upon 2 factorial into 3 minus 2 factorial, right. Here 6, 3 factorial means 6, 2 factorial means 2, and 3 minus 2 means 1, right. Here we have 6 upon 2 is equals to 3. Therefore, we can draw 2 raised to 3 graphs, 2 raised to 3 graphs, that means 8 graphs with 3 vertices. Similarly, we can draw the 64 graphs with 4 vertices. Here 4 factorial upon 2 factorial into 4 minus 2 factorial, 24 upon 4 here, then 24 upon 4 is equals to 6. Then we put the value of 4 choose 2 in the formula, then quantity of A is equals to 2 raised to 6, then and 2 raised to 6 is equals to 64. Therefore, we can draw the 64 graphs with 4 vertices. Now, this next definition is, let G be a loopless graph with vertex set V of G, and vertices are V1, V2 up to Vn. There are n vertices, and S set E of G is equals to E1, E2 up to Em. That means there are m edges. The adjacency matrix of G written as A of G, capital A of G, is the n by n matrix in which entry Aij is the number of edges in G with endpoints Vi, Vj, right. Here this is the definition for the adjacent matrix for the graph. Adjacent matrix is a n by n matrix. N by n matrix, n stands for the number of vertices. We have given that vertex set of G with n vertices V1, V2, Vn. Therefore, the adjacent matrix is a square matrix with n by n. Order of this matrix is n, right. Therefore, the condition for find this adjacency matrix is entry Aij is the number of edges in G which is endpoints Vi, Vj. Here example is there. This is a graph G, right. How many vertices are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 vertices, that means n is equals to 4. Therefore, the matrix A of G is 4 by 4 matrix here. The 4 by 4 matrix, and we give the name of these columns are w, x, y, z. W, x, y, z are vertices of this graph. Here and also here these are also vertices, right? Because here we have given that the NYN matrix in which Aij is the number of edges in each with endpoints Vi, Vj. That means there should be endpoints here, right? And Aij means here A11, A12, A13, A14, A21, A22, A23, A24, right? These are Aij's entry. This entry is the number of edges in each in graph G with endpoints W and W. This is entry. This is edge between W and X. This is number of edges between with endpoints W and Y. Here in this graph, here the vertex is W and W. Is there any edge between W W? No, because this is a loopless graph, right? Therefore, there is no edge from W and ends on W. Therefore, number of edges are 0. That means Aij A11 is equals to 0. Now, we choose X, W and X. Look at here, W and X. There is only one edge, A, right? There is only one edge between W and X. Therefore, we put here 1. Similar for Y, W, Y. There is also only one edge, B, right? Number of edges. How many edges with in between W and Y? There is only one edge between W and Y. Therefore, we put here 1. Now, W, Z. W and Z. There is no edge between W and Z is connected but not adjacent, right? Therefore, there is no edge between W and Z. Therefore, here is 0. Now, X, W. X, W. There is only one edge. Therefore, we put here 1. X, X. Here X, X. That means there is no loop. Therefore, here 0. Now, X, Y. Here X and Y. There are two edges, C and D, right? Both are in between X and Y. Therefore, number of edges are here 2. Similarly, we can find all other entries, right? So, next definition is the incident matrix. The incident matrix is Mg, is the n by m matrix in which entry Mij is 1 if here is an endpoint of Ej and otherwise 0. Mg, M of G, incident matrix is n by m matrix. That means number of vertices and number of edges, right? Here, for example, here there are edges, m edges and n vertices, n edges and m vertices. In this graph, there are 4 vertices and 5 edges. That means this graph is 4 by 5, right? 4 rows and 5 columns. Now we find the entries Mij, right? Here WA, look at here, W and A. The W and A, W is endpoints of A, right? Therefore, we put here 1. Because we have the condition here, the entry Mij is 1 if Vi is endpoint of Ej and otherwise 0. If there is no end for the edge A, then put 0 here. Look at here, B, this vertex W and B. Look at here the vertex W and vertex B. Is W endpoint of B? Yes, W is a endpoint of this edge B. Therefore, we put here 1. Look at C and W here. C, the edge C and the vertex W, right? There is W is not a endpoint of C because endpoints of C are X and Y. W is not a endpoints of C. Therefore, we put here 0, right? Similarly, for D, endpoints of D are X and Y. W is not endpoints of D. Therefore, we put here 0. And E, therefore, here endpoints of E are Y and Z. Therefore, and W is not endpoints of E. Therefore, we put here 0. Similarly, we can find other entries here. XA. Simple trick for this writing this matrix is look at here the vertex edge A, right? A. The endpoints of A are W and X. Here, so find W and X. Put 1 1. Put other entries 0. The edge B. B. The endpoints of B are W and Y. So put here for W and Y, put other entry 0. C, endpoints of C are X and Y. X and Y. Look at the column C and put entries 1 in front of X and Y, because X and Y are endpoints of C. Put other entries 0. D, here D, endpoints of D are X and Y. Here column D and entries are 1 for X and Y. Put other 0, similar for MG, right? So the if here we have seen definition of incident matrix and adjacent matrix, right? So here we have defined a complete graph as a graph whose vertices are pairwise adjacent. We know that the definition of the complete graph, right? Complete graph means every vertices are adjacent, right? While a clique is a set of pairwise adjacent vertices in a graph. We have given that here the definition of the clique. Clique means set of pairwise adjacent vertices in a graph. Here we have given this example here. We have the graph G with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices, right? And the edges are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. Then clique of this graph is, clique means set of pairwise adjacent vertices in a graph G. That means here if you choose the vertex 2, 2 is adjacent to V1 and 2 is adjacent to V3. Therefore, is 2 adjacent to V4? No, because there is no edge between V2 and V4. We cannot we cannot take the vertex V4 for the clique, right? Therefore, the first clique is V1, V2, V3, because V2 is adjacent to V1 and V2 is also adjacent to V3 and V3 also adjacent to V1. Both are adjacent to each other and clique of size is 3, right? So next clique is V3, V4. Here V3, V4, because both are adjacent, and clique of size of this clique is 2. Similar, we can take V4, V5, and also size of this clique is 2, right? Now independent set. Next definition is independent set and or stable set. This is an independent set in a graph G is a set of pairwise non-adjacent vertices, right? If we observe this graph, then we get the vertex V1, V4. Both are not adjacent. Therefore, we can make this set independent set of these two vertices V1, V4. Similarly, V1, V5, V2, V5, these three are independent set, right? There, and size of these three sets are 2, because there are only 2 elements in each set. Now second example here, V1, V2, V3, V4, 5. Here clique is V1, V2, V4, V5, because every 2 vertices are adjacent to each other. V1 is adjacent to V2, V1 is adjacent to V5, also V2, V5 adjacent, V5, V4, V4, V2, V1, V4. Therefore, clique is V1, V2, V4, V5. Next clique is V2, V3, V4. Here V2, V3, V4. These 3 vertices are adjacent to each other, right? Therefore, both are clique of size 4 and 3 respectively. That means there are 4 elements in first clique and there are 3 elements in second clique. We cannot take these 5 vertices V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V1, because V1, V2 is adjacent, right? But V1, V3 are not adjacent. They are connected but not adjacent, because there is no edge between V1, V3. And for the clique, there is condition is any 2 vertices should be adjacent, right? Therefore, we cannot take these 4 vertices for the clique. Therefore, the we find the 2 cliques in this graph with size 4 and 3.